Okay, so I have been pushing off making this video for so long, guys. I haven't made a Formula One video in a minute because I'm so sad it's ending. I mean, I have had the craziest first season of my life. Now, again, I would like to state that I'm new here and Formula One is not my area of expertise yet. We're getting there, baby, but it's a step at a time, right? We learned the wheels, we learned the car, we learned the tracks. This season's been crazy. We learned the drivers, we learned teams. We also learned that Mercedes has a deep-rooted jealousy. Hamilton's leaving.
Don't go. It's great having you here.
What? I sold some paintings lately. Remember your brother told you?
Don't do it to me. I beg you. No.
We also learned Formula One doesn't care about leaving drivers in the wind, even if it's the end of the season. There's been so many things happening this season. Canada.
Sainz has his own moment. Oh, gutting for Albon. So unlucky.
Brazil.
The race is interrupted with Esteban Ocon the leader, but that is how easy it is. And look at the damage it did.
There's so much to talk about. There's so many things this season's added that I'm scared Drive to Survive is going to be crazier than the rest of the seasons I've seen so far. Drive to Survive is going to be very interesting. Netflix is fed. That's all I'm going to say about Drive to Survive. Netflix has been fed. They're good. Regardless of what happens the rest of the season, even if it's boring back-to-back races, no safety cars, no red flags, nothing like that. Even if it's just regular old, boring old racing, which isn't really a thing I see. I think all the races are interesting. But if we have no more Canadian type races, I still think Netflix is eating, right? What do you think, sister?
I definitely have to agree. This season, even though we missed the first two, which I'm actually kind of glad that we did because those were, Verstappen's crazy wins. But it seems as if, especially after China, something happened and F1 flipped itself on its head and chaos happened. It's like shaking one of those like snow globes. You shook the snow globe and now chaos then rain. And it has been so interesting to watch. It has been so fantastic to see the arch. And now that we're towards the end, we can appreciate what has happened, what could have happened, what didn't happen. We've seen Logan leave. We've seen the crash, multiple crashes, between Max and Lando. We've seen Daniel Ricciardo leave. We don't even know who's going to be taking the Red Bull seat if they're going to decide to keep Checo, because yes, he did sign a contract, but that man has not improved. So we don't even know if they're even going to keep up with that contract, because look at what they're doing to the others. Red Bull doesn't seem to be very loyal either, but we've seen Lewis and his journey with Mercedes come to an end after so many championships with him. I mean, like this season, truly, if you were a fan before, especially the last 2 years, and you were bored, they twisted this to a beautiful cuisine. Like, you can't not keep your eyes off of it if you are a fan. If you've never heard of it and you've gotten into this year, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like, they would have to tell you you're welcome because they fed us. I mean, Charles finally won in his hometown, in his home country. He won, finally. Lando finally got over his losing streak. Oscar got his first win. There's so many. Alpine, they went 3 and 2 and 3. Like, this season has been giving us the best cuisines you could ever have. And I'm so excited to say that I am a fan. Like, I love it. And hopefully next year it gets even crazier. I need Lewis to act a fool in that Ferrari. I need Max to get so angry that he's starting to lose his rep.
Like to read minds, Meg? I got something for you to read right here.
Let's just be copper. What's that?
I need Lando to exceed like crazy. Newey left the team. There are people leaving Red Bull. So I need Newey, that's going to Aston Martin, to really act up and be like, yeah, we finna really show you what Aston Martin really about. Like, I need next year to really start to go even crazier. Have the bar be set even farther than what this year could have done. Because we've already set a crazy bar. Now you just gotta elevate. And the FIA needs to look inward and find out what their problem is, because it can't be the people always looking at you for fault and you constantly being like, it's not our fault. So as much as everything has been going great and right, there's also been a lot that's been going wrong. And it's time for the people inside, in the FIA, to look around and be like, what could we do differently to be better? You know what I mean? Like, it's a brand new, beautiful time. And I am so excited, especially with all of these rookies around. Like, oh my God, you're almost overrun. Almost. But you're almost overrun by rookies. Like, it's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. It's a beautiful mess. And I'm applauding it. You know what I mean?
I agree. This season has been insane. From start to finish, we thought it was going to be a Max run season again, and it wasn't. And it wasn't because Lando Norris, he said, I'm not playing this year. They put me in a rocket and I'm going to use it. Charles did the exact same thing. And then Charles wasn't even the only one to win his hometown race, because Lewis Hamilton, who hasn't won a race in so long, won his too. This season has been incredible. But even if you're not looking at the race aspect of it and you're just looking at the media creators, the conspiracies that have been thrown around, somebody actively sent an email to Mercedes talking about you're putting Lewis Hamilton's life in danger and you're sabotaging his car and we don't like it. Just for them to start an investigation and then boost Hamilton's car up. That's insane. We've had people thinking the Ferrari men weren't getting along. We've had papaya rules. That was a whole thing. And I'm not a McLaren girly, but I was tuned in. I was like, what's happening? Are we gonna fight today? I was intrigued because to me, and this is my opinion, Oscar has some time to go, but easily he could be just as good, if not better than Lando, with time and with some patience. This season has been incredible. We've had two counts of I think they're cheating, no, I think you're cheating, between Red Bull and McLaren. We've had the upgrades have done well, but then you see some that aren't doing great. Had first wins. We've had everything. I feel like this season's had everything. We've even had Kevin Magnussen, who was disqualified for a whole race. The FIA gave Max community service for cussing. It fined Charles, pretty sure it was $10,000 in case he cusses within the next 6 months. Like, it's insane. This season has been crazy. We started crazy, we ended crazy, but we still got the races to go. Now, it would be remiss of me to not say that I am not nervous about, where are we going? Las Vegas. And I'm nervous about the crashing and the burning that's gonna happen because it's the end of the season. So papaya rules, they're off. Ferrari, it's off. It's more about who's winning the constructor championship now more than the drivers, because with only like 7 wins, Max Verstappen does it again. And that's not an exaggeration, it's disgusting. But it's also hilarious, because what kind of driver do you need to be to, in the beginning of a season, win? Everybody's, who's gonna win? Who's gonna is Lando gonna catch Max? No. Max won another championship. That makes him a 4-time world champion. Honestly, I'm both impressed and mad that he's won again, but also very impressed. But we're going through a triple header this time, so we'll just be speeding through the rest of the season. Though it brings me sadness, it also brings me joy because it's my first season done with, and now I can say that technically I'm not a rookie. I'm just new. And, this season has been crazy, but who's to say what's going to happen next season? Who's going to be in the front next season? We have no idea, because Red Bull has already proven they're falling off. So who's going to be the one winning majority of the races? Are we going to get another 2021? But this time, is it going to be with Lewis? Because he's going to be in a Ferrari. I was going to say this time without Lewis, because it could be Lando and Charles. It could be Lando and Max. It could be Lando and a Aston Martin. But is it even going to be Lando? This next season brings so many mysteries, and I'm very excited to see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen like everybody else. It's just going to have to happen, and I think I'm very excited to see what next season has to bring, because it's not going to be another season that's dominated by Max Verstappen. It's going to be a season where anything at all could happen. Anybody could dominate, anybody could take off, anybody can win, and I'm very excited to see who wins and what happens, and the drama they bring next season, because if we're being fed this year, I can't wait to see what happens next year. The discourse online between, who Ferrari dropped the wrong driver, Mercedes emails, the cheating, or more so gray area, the community service, the dropping drivers, all of it that's happened has made this season very special for me. And I'll never forget my first Formula One season. And I can't wait for next year. That's going to be a great season, and this was a great season. I'm very happy to say that I shared it with you, but that I enjoyed it, loved it, and would love to do it again. And next season, we're all going to eat again. Anything else you want to say, sister?
All that I have to say is that I am proud of McLaren. I am proud of Oscar and Lando. They've done fantastic. This is really their first time, so I'm not surprised that they're not going to win. But I am proud of them because they've done their best. I'm proud of Andrea. He's done incredible. I have some issues with Zach Wow, so kind of like Zach, whatever. And I'm just proud of the whole organization. I cannot wait for next year. Hopefully we can do better. Hopefully we can be just as competitive. Hopefully we can be a top runner, top starter, number one. You know what I mean? And I don't care what nobody say. We got this, the constructors in the bag. So at least next year we got the money to handle it. Okay. But we will see you next year. Well, kind of next year. Hopefully we'll talk to you about the next race other than Las Vegas. But if not, I will see you next year. Congrats to whoever wins. Most likely Max. But congrats to whoever wins. And yeah, sending out your girl Zaria.
If I have one hope for the end of the season, is that Ferrari ends it off very strong, because I'm a Ferrari fan. Tifosi for life. And I hope we end off the season strong, no more accidents, and, doing the best we can, maybe with another win, hopefully. That's it for me. I would love to hear your thoughts on the discourse behind the scenes, but also driving, the action. I would love to hear what you have to think. If this is your first season too as well, or if you're a seasoned watcher, and let me know your thoughts. Love you, bye.